Okay, so can you tell what this project is? If you can piece that together, then good for you. If you cannot, then I'm going to reference you over to Rob's channel and tell you to go look at a couple of his most recent videos. It's not too far back in his current offerings where he revisited a automatic chicken feeder. So head over there and you'll see what I'm going to do with all of this. The how-to video will follow later when I can edit everything together with close-up pictures and things like I like. So what you're looking at here is literally the least expensive large trash can that's available at my hardware store. I would rather have had a flat-sided garbage can, but all of those had wheels on them, and those wheels took up too much space, and I would not have been able to put as many ports in as I wanted. So I went with this one instead, figuring if I made a mistake, at least I didn't spend too much money on the garbage can, and it's worked perfectly fine since doing this project. So the marks that I'm making are representing the height of the pipe from the base to the center of the hole that's going to be going through. When you use a hole saw, I need to recommend that you check the hole saw to the pipe before purchasing the hole saw, because inner diameters, outer diameters, and the size of the hole saw may not match up how you expect. So make sure you compare that before you invest in a hole saw. One tip that Rob had that worked great for me is running the hole saw in reverse. Doing so sort of peels off the plastic rather than rip into the plastic, and all of my holes came out nice and smooth without any problems. So certainly an idea for you to use as well. So here are all of the different ports going around. They're as equally spaced as I could get them. There are 6 in total. And when I say as equally spaced as I could get them, I chose where these went by taking into account these raised ridges on the bottom of the garbage can. So watch for any obstacles you might have on your can. This is the pipe I'm using. You'll see one side is female, the other is male, for lack of a better term, and you'll see why later. I took a piece of my cutouts and used it to make a template. You don't have to do this. It's a little bit of a OCD in my case of wanting all the pipes to be exactly the same. But the point is you need to notch out a section of this pipe, and you need just a small section to actually support the pipe, keep it up off the ground, and then you need a larger section for allowing the feed to come in under the pipe. So however you measure how big each one of those is going to be, just measure off your section and make your cut. Here mine basically works out to being about 1/3 of the circumference is going to be for keeping the pipe up off the ground, and 2/3 of it is for letting grain into the area. So that's all I'm really trying to accomplish with all of this extra effort that I would not go through if I needed to make another automatic feeder. Now I'm going to start cutting these off, and the easiest thing for me to use was a little rotary tool. Here I've got a Dremel, and I just basically melted through the PVC here and cut off the area that I needed. Now I'm also going to cut a window into this pipe cap, and this is going to go on to that male end of the pipe and try to keep even more feed from being able to be scratched out by the chickens. Doing it this way, I've been able to avoid using glue, rivets, or anything else, and my chickens have not been able to pull off this cover, so it's worked out great for me. Here I'm just cutting out the window using the Dremel tool, and then I'm going to come back around in just a second and clean it off. This is a tip that Rob posted in his video when he still had some chickens pulling the feed out, and putting this little lip on there stopped them from being able to do that. So it's working good for me. Here's how the whole thing kind of fits together, and that's why you want to have one pipe that's got the male and female end on the elbow rather than one that's female and female. Alright, now that just slides in from the inside out, and on the outside I'm putting the cap on, and that just holds it into place. Now Rob did a great thing where he connected those to a block of wood to make sure that they don't twist and turn and come up. And if this were a smaller bucket, I can see why that would be a real big benefit. But from what I've noticed, on a big tub like this, the weight of the grain keeps everything in place. And so long as you keep it full, you shouldn't have a problem with those shifting. So it's something else you can add on if you feel that you need to, but I did not personally think it was needed for the size that I'm using. So here's the birds using it just fine. They all get it. They can all reach it. You can see it's elevated off the ground a little bit. For their ease of use, it is under a shelter, so I'm not worried about rain and water. And otherwise, just want to thank you for watching the video, and hope to see you next time. Take care.